Hey everyone, welcome back to But Why the Podcast, and today we are Go Power Ranger going? Yeah, we're talking about Power Rangers. As always, I'm your host Kate, and here with Adrian.
Hey, how's it going?
And Matt.
Hello, even that sounded just like the Ninja Turtle one, but sure.
It's not my fault that they have catchy songs.
And they're also popular in America, like almost the exact same
Yeah.
time. So it's, they had
That's
the crossover that one time. So,
Oh, yeah, but that's because it was like, go Ninja, go. This is Go Power Rangers. Those are two distinctly different songs.
Well, when you sing them properly, they may be distinct. But when you do your intro, that was not completely distinct.
The people understand. It's fine.
Sure.
Okay, so my first question is, which Power Ranger did you want to be growing up? And what I mean by that is when you got together and you played with your friends and you played Power Rangers, or you just watched it on TV, which one was your favorite?
I mean, probably comes as really no surprise to anybody based on my track record of what draws me to things. Red Ranger, because red. And because the Red Ranger is also the leader. Me and one of my good friends, when we were watching this when we were growing up in our little group, and we talked about this when we talked about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one where he tried to assign stuff. He wanted to be the Green Ranger / Tommy because he was kind of the leader and he kind of usurped the leadership, and he would usurp the leadership from me when we would play and stuff. Yeah.
Tommy was the solid leader, though.
Yeah, Tommy was also evil, and he's a dick, and I hate him. And
but then he got good, and that's when he got the leadership.
If not for Jason Lee not being in there, it would have never happened. I'm very salty because I'm like, why can't the Red Ranger just be the leader? That's how it's supposed to be. Why does this guy have to come in here and take it? Why is that guy such a jerk? Yeah, I never liked him.
Super Sentai. That's why.
Basically, yeah.
Matt?
So, by default of colors as well, I like the Green Ranger because I didn't like any of the other bland-ass colors. Also, the White Ranger looked really cool, even though I think they were the same person at one time.
The same person
I know, it was so I was at one point you just flipped a coin depending on what color they were, I guess.
Tommy goes from green to white. Green is when he's in his evil being controlled by Rita phase, and then white is when he's emerged and he's good.
Yeah, whatever. They just had a bit, because obviously the blue, I don't know, they just picked such bland colors that I didn't like any of the other ones. So I was like, I just like green. I like turtles. They're green. I like Green Ranger.
So to be fair, Tommy had the most extra costume
yes.
and the most things.
Yes.
He got his own big Zord, and he got a dagger that played a song. And he got damn shoulder pads.
Yes.
Tommy got
bullshit.
everything.
It was bullshit. He only got it. They had to fight better people because he came along and he was bad in the first place. It's all his fault. We could have just been the same thing, but no, here he comes. Tommy Oliver. God damn it. Over here.
So I wanted to be the Pink Ranger.
No way. So did anybody actually care about the characters, or did we just pick them about colors?
I did. I had a reason.
The characters were good.
I had a reason. I wanted to be the Pink Ranger because Kimberly was amazing in gymnastics, and she was Tommy's girlfriend, and I really, really liked Tommy. And he was probably my first real person crush. Not animated crush. My real person crush. And I got to meet Jason David Frank, and I was crushed because he's a dick in real life. And I was very sad.
I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to people think that I just I'm only saying it because I don't like. But that guy's an asshole. I've never seen anything good about him literally ever from
He's
conventions.
kind of mean. And then and then his wife hangs around in the background, and then anytime a woman comes up to pay for a picture and to get an autograph, she just moves in hey,
my God,
that's my husband. Which that's fine, but you also have to understand that your husband was the sexual awakening for many, many children.
Yeah, come on, man.
Coming of age with the Power Rangers.
I like green.
I mean, I like red, but I also like Jason too. And then I actually got to meet. Me and Stefani actually got to meet both of the Red Rangers. So, was it Steve Cardenas and Austin St. John or whatever?
Mm-hmm. I think it's the hot person thing because Rocky was a lot hotter than Jason, and Tommy was like a lot hotter than everybody else. So like,
Really? I mean,
Yes.
Jason kind of had like no, I don't know, man.
no, Rocky was definitely more attractive than Jason. Not that Jason was ugly. Like Jason was fine, but like Rocky was fine. So like, yeah,
My vision of his is also tainted, so he's ugly because his personality is ugly. He's ugly on the inside and the outside. No, I'm just kidding.
Sometimes you got to balance that out. So if you're really hot on the inside, you got to be very bad on the inside.
Yeah, there can't be a single person who has everything, Adrian.
That's why the ugly people are like, look at my personality. And all the hot people are like, just look at me.
Okay, now that we've gone into our deep connections with individual Power Rangers, we're gonna talk a little bit about the history. And honestly, my first fun fact of the day is really what I wanted to start the history off with, which is we have Stan Lee to thank for the Power Rangers pretty much. So before creating Power Rangers, the idea of adapting a Sentai series to the American public emerged in the 1970s after agreement between the Toei Company, which if you are a weeb, you know Toei Animation, you know Toei, they literally made all of your favorites. And Marvel Comics, which if you are an American comic book nerd, you know Marvel Comics, to exchange concepts to adapt them to their respective audiences. So Toei, together with Marvel, created a Spider-Man series based on the comics of the same name and produced 3 Super Sentai series, which had great success in Japan. While Stan Lee and Marvel tried to sell Sun Vulcan, which is one of the Super Sentai series that they made, to various television stations, including HBO, unlike in Japan, nobody wanted it here in the US. What I wanted to like add to this piece as well is Alamo Drafthouse always shows like the Japanese Spider-Man and stuff. That was real, and Marvel actually approved all of it, including the like Zords that Spider-Man would call in to fight things.
Yeah, you want to see some weird stuff? Watch Spider-Man in a Zord, or maybe it's just like the perfect amount of crazy. But it's definitely a sight to see.
Like that, the Japanese Spider-Man is literally Power Rangers, but with Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's a solo Power Ranger, and
with kaiju, and
he fights kaiju.
It's really good. Which
thanks, Stan.
I mean, in all honesty, like if you look at Spider-Man's rogues, he kind of already fights kaiju. They're just normal sized.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So several years later, another idea to adapt Super Sentai began in the 80s with Haim Saban. You know, Saban, the company behind Power Rangers.
Saber.
No.
Sabin.
Sabre?
Sabre.
Oh, I feel so bad that their song didn't rhyme after they found out it was Saber.
That's Sabin.
Haim Saban made a business trip to Japan in which, during his stays at the hotel, the only thing he ended up watching was Super Sentai. Essentially what happens, like, it's a really long, convoluted thing, but essentially the woman who was in charge of Marvel's original TV arm and Haim Saban ended up getting together and bringing this thing to life. And this is after she'd already become familiar with the Super Sentai material because of Stan Lee. Thank you, Stan, for the Power Rangers. Production of Power Rangers episodes involves extensive localization of the revision of original Super Sentai source material in order to incorporate our culture and conform to our television standards. Rather than remaking the entirety of the series or dubbing it in English, the Power Rangers consist of scenes featuring English-speaking actors spliced together with Japanese actors dubbed into English, or action scenes from the Super Sentai series featuring the Rangers fighting monsters or the Zord or Megazords battle with English dubbing. This was something that I didn't realize till I got older, because I always wondered why Trini had a skirt when her helmet was off and why Trini didn't have a skirt when she was fighting.
I never even realized that.
Didn't even notice, to be honest.
Yep. Didn't even notice.
And then I think they stopped because I did a rewatch of all the Power Rangers like 2013. And then they stopped, so Trini never had a skirt. But I was like, but why doesn't Trini have a skirt and Kimberly has a skirt? This doesn't make sense. Because it was a dude in Japan who was the Yellow Ranger. That's why.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So in some series, original fight scenes are filmed to incorporate characters or items unique to the Power Rangers production. This happened in the early ones, mostly when the series eventually outgrew what Super Sentai was doing. And this happened a lot once Tommy hits the White Ranger phase, because then they start to run out of material and then they start doing a lot of original stuff. Like many of Seven Entertainment's previous ventures in localizing Japanese television, the plot, character names, and other names usually differ greatly from the source footage, though a few seasons have stayed close to the story. Along with adapting the villains from the Super Sentai counterparts, most Power Rangers series also feature villains with no Sentai counterpart, generally the primary antagonist of a Power Rangers series, example Lord Zed, or Divatox, which, although Power Rangers Turbo is not great, Divatox was amazing, and I will die on that hill, and I will defend my girl, because she looks great, and she was bad. And if anything, actually, Elizabeth Banks, her name, who played Rita in the 2017 Power Rangers, she would have been a perfect Divatox.
Yeah,
and that's what I kept thinking about the entire movie, is she would have been a perfect Divatox.
I mean, she's not bad. I kind of liked her Rita, but like, you're talking about sexual awakening. Divatox. God damn.
I didn't like her Rita because it wasn't Rita, but I liked the rest of those movies. But she would have been an amazing Divatox.
But also imagine like a true to form Rita in that tone of movie.
I'd be with it.
Oh man.
So like Lord Zed and Divatox are not adapted from Sentai. Exceptions to this also include Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Lightspeed Rescue, and a few others which only use villains adapted from the Japanese shows. The series began the franchise with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in 1992, and they adapted the Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger, and they began broadcasting as part of the Fox Kid block of programming that aired on the Fox network, and it lasted for 3 seasons from 1983 to 1986. So a little bit about the team of Rangers, because I know we talked about kind of team structure when it came to like the Ninja Turtles. And this is kind of similar, but not really, because they change it out all the time. Since Power Rangers derives most of its footage from the Super Sentai series, each series revolves around a team of youths recruited and trained by a mentor to morph into eponymous Power Rangers, able to use special powers and pilot immense Zords. And then they use this to overcome the antagonists. When morphed, the Power Rangers become powerful superheroes wearing color-coded, skin-tight spandex suits and helmets with opaque visors, identical except in the individual Rangers' colors, helmet design, and minor stylings, such as incorporating a skirt. Which is why I'm sad Trini did not get to keep her skirt.
I thought you were going to say like the shape of their mask, but like, no, the skirt.
Morphed Rangers genuinely possessed enhanced strength, durability, agility, and combat prowess. Some possess superhuman or psychic abilities such as super speed, element manipulation, extrasensory perception, or invisibility. This comes with all of the later iterations where they need to keep making the Power Rangers intriguing.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't remember any of that.
I almost okay boomered myself.
Yes.
When you read that.
I was like, what?
Invisible. What?
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, Power Rangers Ninja Storm, which is one of the last Power Rangers that I watched, there were only 3 of them, but they were each trained in the ways of the ninja, but they all had different controls over different elements that they came from.
That makes sense. Yeah, because I remember that. Because they also, I'm pretty sure you're going to talk about this here in a second.
There was
like,
a teal ranger there, Matt.
I think I remember some. I don't know. I watched the beginning stuff from like 93 to 96. They had the little ninja suits that looked cool, and I always wanted to own one of those because they look comfy, like to run around in. And that was about it. Then they went to like weird stuff, like which we're getting into now, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, that one threw me off for a few reasons. Just because, like, for so long, everything had been so structured. Like, you get 5 Rangers. The girls are typically the pink and the yellow one, and then you have the dudes being the other colors. But this one, you had like the teal one as the girl, right? And then like the guy was the yellow, and there was only 3 of them. And I was, what is going on here? What is this? Not my Power Rangers. See, it wasn't that bad. I actually kind of enjoyed it, but it did throw me off. It was like the first thing where I was like, oh, they're trying to do something a little bit different here. Okay.
I actually really liked it, but then they bring in like these 2 other rangers who
Yeah.
then be like round out the 5. And there is a female Red Ranger, and she is in Power Rangers Samurai. All of this is on Netflix, so if you get a real big craving to just go start watching through all the different Power Rangers shows, go for it, because as we'll find out, they keep using that stock Japanese footage. They don't stop.
Yeah.
It's still there.
I did that with Lost Galaxy a couple years ago because I really like Magnum Defender. The guy with like the black ranger with like the horn
Yeah.
bull thing. And I did that with Lost Galaxy. So it's a good time if you go do it with like your premiere episodes, I think.
Yeah, and I will say too, like, traditionally, as Adrian said, the Red Ranger is the leader.
Yeah.
So, and I think wasn't Hyper. I think there's a Red Ranger in SPD, but I think she has like a dude name. I don't remember. That I didn't watch that one. That one I just saw when I was googling things. Um,
Yeah, there was one for SPD. I think. Wait.
I think the Red Ranger was a woman in SPD.
I think there was one in like one of the ninja ones too, right?
Samurai for sure.
Oh yeah, Charlie and SPD.
There we go.
Yeah, I remember. She was hot. I liked her.
Yeah. And also,
She was also a badass. Jesus, she was scary.
There have also just been so many freaking Rangers that.
This is true. Whenever they do those like that, when they brought all of like the Rangers together in that one giant episode.
Yeah.
And that was years ago. I can't even imagine if they did that now.
The one thing I will say is Kimberly is a way better Pink Ranger than Kat. And I hate Kat.
Yes.
And I don't like her. She was
You're not
awful.
wrong.
And then she started dating Tommy. And I was like, how dare you be with Tommy? He is Kimberly's. And then they addressed that whole plot in Turbo. And I was like, oh. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a weird thing too, right? Sometimes they come back. Like, what was it? Jason comes back and was it Zeo?
Yeah.
Like, where have you been, my guy? And then I think some of them even came back for later ones too.
Tommy straight up comes back and becomes another Ranger in Dino Thunder. He was like, Jason David Frank, who plays Tommy, comes back in Dino Thunder and is like their mentor and isn't a Ranger, but then all of a sudden has to get called to become a White Ranger and like help them out. It's real weird.
Getting paid because his MMA career was garbage.
Probably. I don't know. This was when I was still living in my parents' house, so I doubt it. But yeah. So as we continue through our team, each individual ranger has a unique weapon as well as common weaponry used for ground fighting. So these are like your blasters versus like Kimberly with her pterodactyl bow and arrow, which was great. I loved it.
Yeah,
it was
I
my
think it's
favorite.
cool.
And if you watch, kind of like with a lot of our episodes, you watch The Toys That Made Us, they actually have this like really like, it's like a 10-second clip of the guy who designed all of the weapons and toys. And he just has like one toy. He's like, it's double daggers. It's a bow and arrow. It's one big dagger. And he's just like taking one toy and making it like 10 different ways. And when enemies when enemies grow to an incredible size, as they always do, Rangers use individual Zords that combine into the Megazord. What were y'all's favorite Zords, if you all remember?
I guess, I mean, it depends. Like when it's tough because it just got crazy, and they just kept, especially when Tommy came. It all changed when Tommy came because then like other Zords stack on other Zords.
He had like the Loch Ness monster that he brought out.
Yeah, where did that come from?
From Mighty Morphin, just from.
I was like just like the OG Megazord. I thought it was clean because it wasn't as crazy. It was just the 5 of them, back in the day.
No, I meant like the individual Zords.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
individual
what I thought.
swords?
I was like,
Yeah.
I just like the Godzilla looking one from the green. There we go.
The dragon sword.
There we go.
Yeah, because what's cooler than a T-Rex? A fucking
Dragon.
what's cooler than a T-Rex? A dragon.
Yes.
So of course Tommy gets the dragon. Always gotta.
I
watch, my
like
man.
green and dragons and turtles.
No,
Oh, I'm
the
so
T-Rex,
sorry,
of course.
Adrian.
T-Rex followed by
The dragon.
Magna Defenders. Well, I mean, this is from Galaxy, obviously, but he had the bull, and they were like
Yeah.
best friends. It seemed like I never seen anyone as close to their Zord as Magna Defender with his buddy.
I always thought it was
Um,
funny at the little Triceratops one. He just looked always like useless out there. Like, help
You
me.
leave
this
Billy
Help me.
alone. Billy is the only reason they ever did anything half the time.
Help me. I got my big old chunky Triceratops. He's pretty useless. He's just a leg.
He was just a leg.
It's poor. I mean, better than
It was the
the
Mastodon.
second Blue Ranger.
What was his?
Well, just his character in general compared
Oh,
to
the
Billy's.
kid to an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the T-Rex, the Triceratop, the Mastodon, the saber-toothed tiger, the T-Rex, and the pterodactyl.
The pterodactyl wasn't bad, but it
One.
just kind of was always funny because she just ended up becoming the chess piece.
Yeah.
She
I
just kind
liked
of
this. I liked the saber-toothed tiger and the pterodactyl, but the saber-toothed tiger was just a leg. And the pterodactyl was a chess piece.
That's probably what I have when they say it, because like they tried to fight, but most of the time they always sucked
You
anyways.
just like the Dragon Zord because he just did his own crap by himself.
Well, yeah, because they all the rest of them suck, and they're like, oh, obviously this little freaking chess piece over here can't just flying around. Screw it, let's get
Tommy
together.
does but Tommy becomes a chess piece because he becomes the Falcon Zord when they after the Power Rangers movie.
Yep. That was a thing that happened.
But he was not a leg.
And then I thought that one was funny because then it was like the Wolverine, the bear, a falcon, a frog,
I like
and
the
I don't
frog
remember
in
the
that
other
one.
two. I also just liked that Adam was like, I'm a frog. Like he was so sad. It was so good though. That original movie was good. I miss it. I'm gonna
It's
go
a
watch
really
it.
good movie.
I got it on DVD. Okay, we can continue now. Now that I'm not shocked by
So the funny
anybody's
thing
answers.
is, well, I guess we'll wait till we get to the movies here.
And now I just keep thinking of Billy's Triceratops.
Hurry up and form the big one.
Tommy will come save you.
Oh yeah. Oh, then he had Q-Rex. I forgot about Q-Rex. Q-Rex looks so cool. I'm just looking up.
I would
all the
also
Zords.
like everybody to know that these toys are still really expensive, but not like thousands of dollars expensive. It's like $170 if you want to buy Tommy's Dragon.
So we're
Sword.
not going to go through this again because just like the Ninja Turtles, I had plenty of Power Ranger toys. And I have no idea whatever happened to any of them, including the full Megazord and everything. Took it all
So
apart.
I will say this: the only things worth money are the Zords.
I had the full Zord. Had the green
'Cause
one too.
I did a quick eBay search of the flippables and stuff. They produced so many of them that I can buy one at eBay right now of the Pink Ranger for $9. I wanted to really bad.
Do it. Just do it.
But the Zords are another story. The Zords are expensive.
Yeah, I never really liked the Thunder Megazord. I thought he had like the big like red circle on his chest. It's like a hit marker. It's like right there, just waiting for the
Target.
hit you.
I came to Target.
Target. I'm trying to remember exactly what they were called. Okay. Anyway.
Some of these new Zords look like Bodhi.
Yes.
I don't like any of these new
You don't
Zords.
like the train Zords?
No, I don't like it.
Hold
I
on, I
don't
think
like This Dinotarge thing looks dumb. I don't like this. Even that, like the T-Rex is like kind of the main part of this. I still don't like it.
Oh, the Ninja Storm Zords are really bad. Dino Thunder is good because Dino Thunder is just dinosaurs. So, you can't mess up dinosaurs.
Yeah, which is why they keep going back to it.
One of
Constantly.
them is a Pachyosaurus. It's cool. Anyway,
Come on, man. The dude used like the mastodon for a shield. He would like shield people in the face of that thing. That's baller. Come on, man.
the mastodon
Can't beat
was
that.
better than the frog, if I'm honest.
For sure. I mean, out of all of those things, I only take like 2 of them in a fight. The rest of them are just there to be the legs.
So Tommy and Tommy and the Shield.
Yeah, Tommy and the Shield is real. Give me the mastodon, man. Come on.
Which I will say, College Humor has a show called this is like Ultra Mecha Force Team Go or something like that. It's a parody show of like Power Rangers and kaiju in the mecha genre. And essentially, like, each episode is a different so each person controls a different part of the body, like the legs, the chest, the legs, the torso, the head, and the arms. And then each episode is them doing like essentially like the legs gets really drunk one day and decide to just like rampage through a city. Because she's like, I can party, guys. Because everybody's like, no, you can't party. You're the responsible one. She's like, no, I can party. She like runs through the city and like breaks everything. It's funny. Anyway, as in Super Sentai, the color palette of each Power Rangers team changes with every series. Only red and blue appear in every Ranger team, while yellow has been present in every season except for Dino Charge.
See, there you go. That's why Diamond Charge looks like garbage. There's no yellow. No contrast.
Other colors and designations also appear throughout the series. Also, a Ranger's color designation also influences their wardrobe throughout the series. So essentially, the outfits they wear, while not as a Ranger, has the same colors. It's the reason that I was really into wearing pink clothes as a kid, because I thought that would make me a Power Ranger. Yeah.
Marketing, yeah.
So for the but why though, is like the main one is really Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So we're gonna get into it because Mighty Morphin it's the height of the Power Rangers craze in the US. It's the height of the Power Rangers for pretty much all the people that were buying all the toys. And essentially Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is the American superhero children's television series that premiered in 1993 on Fox Kids, and it became a 1990s pop culture phenomenon.
So I actually watched the first episode when it was live. I do remember that.
It?
I do, actually. That's one of the few things I do. That's why I brought it up, because that's one of the few things like I do remember like this happening and this being live, and then like watching it when it first like came on.
That's actually really cool.
I'm not even born yet.
That's what I said. I was like, I can say that. I was like,
I am too.
But no, I do remember actually watching this. Was one of the few Power Ranger things, obviously outside that we talk about, but like one of the memories I do remember is like I watched the very first episode that came on in America.
That's actually really cool. In the original series, Mighty Morphin, the Wizard Zordon recruits teenagers with attitude to fight Rita Repulsa. And so the original lineup is Jason, the original Red Ranger, also the team's original leader, portrayed by Austin St. John. There's Zach, the original Black Ranger, also the team's second in command, portrayed by Walter Emmanuel Jones. There's Trini, the original Yellow Ranger, who is portrayed by Tui Trang. Then there's Kimberly, the original Pink Ranger, and the first Pink Ninja Ranger, who was portrayed by Amy Jo Johnson. Billy, the Blue Ranger, and the Blue Ninja Ranger, who also becomes the longest-lasting member of the original team, who's portrayed by David Yost. Then there's Tommy, the Green Ranger, who is later the White Ranger and the White Ninja Ranger, also the team's second leader.
Jesus.
Portrayed by Jason David Frank, what they don't say in this thing, from where I pulled this stuff from, is that he later comes back, like I said, and is another Ranger in Dino Thunder. And then there's Rocky, the second Red Ranger, and the Red Ninja Ranger, who is also the team's second in command. He's portrayed by Steve Cardenas. There's Adam, the second Black Ranger, the Black Ninja Ranger, who's portrayed by Johnny Young Bosch, who, if you do not know, is a huge voiceover talent in anime. Yeah, think Full Metal
Yes.
Alchemist. Actually, somebody just redubbed Super Broly, taking out Vic and putting in John Young Bosch in it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll take
it
it. Yeah,
actually
let's do
sounds
it.
real good. It
Let's do
sounds
it.
yeah. He does a lot of stuff. So if you're in your Power Rangers feels and you also like anime, you've probably listened to John Young Bosch. I also, fun fact, Kate had a really big crush on him as well when she was younger.
Fun
I
fact:
like
Kate
felt
just apparently had a crush on everybody when she was younger. She just saw a boy go,
I
"Oh,
was a
I like him," and then this show I like him, and then this show I like him.
I was a very chunky young child and nobody paid attention to me. Yes, I liked TV boys. That was how that
You like
worked, Matt.
TV boys, itty bitty boys.
I ate my ice
Anime
cream and watched my
boys.
boys on TV.
I did. Then there was Aisha, who is the second Yellow Ranger and the Yellow Ninja Ranger, portrayed by Karen Ashley. And then there's Kat, the second Pink Ranger, the second Pink Ninja Ranger. He's portrayed by Catherine Sutherland, who shares the name with other Pink, and we have the same name. And so every time anybody would bring up the Power Rangers, they'd say, hey, Katie, do you like Kat? Because y'all have the same name. And I was like, no, I don't, because she took Kimberly's place. And Kimberly is more
One,
important.
I do like the fact that Kat is spelled with a K in here, but then Catherine is spelled with a C in her name.
That's funny.
I just don't like her. She's the inferior Pink Ranger.
I mean,
Nobody's arguing with you here.
I mean, Jason. Tommy's the inferior leader of the Power Rangers,
But he had a green extra suit.
I mean, but the cast was pretty good though, and they were also like all athletic as hell. Like,
Yes.
it was the coolest part because they could still jump around and do stuff. It was nuts.
Yeah, so all of them were either dancers, gymnasts, or actual martial artists. Which, and I'm gonna bring it up here because I couldn't find any facts on the internet to corroborate. But they used to do live shows, and they did one at the Alamo Dome. And at this point, if you're listening, I'm begging you with every fiber of my being to find me a link so I know that I'm not making this up. But I dressed up in a pink Power Ranger costume, and my mom saved up for months to take me to the live demo where they had all of the Power Rangers doing martial arts for the Power Rangers movie. And it was amazing and it was fun, but apparently it may be fake. I don't know.
I was like, did you dream all this?
Evidence. I don't know.
I'm gonna ask, were they already in costume?
Huh?
Were they already like morphed up?
No.
So it was like them, like the actors doing. Okay. I was gonna say because they could have just got Joe Schmo who could do a backflip.
No.
Put him in
It was
there.
actually it was the actors themselves.
Yeah, whatever your head tells you.
Shut up, Matt. So if you're listening to this, and if you like me at least a little bit, if you care about this show at least a little bit, please find me evidence, because I could not.
I don't know if this corroborates your story here, Kate, but there is, in 2013, Power Rangers announces 20th anniversary mall tour where they brought Power Rangers Megaforce around malls in, the UK? So
Were
maybe?
you in the UK at one time?
In a mall?
Apparently it's a big thing where Saban's Power Rangers at AMC North.
Saban.
It's Saban.
No.
Nick Saban is a lot more popular
This isn't-
than how about Saban?
That's fine.
After a while, somebody just...
This is a mall in Georgia. I think it is a thing, Kate.
I believe it's a thing. If I remember correctly, I want to say I do remember something like that, but I never went to them. So
I mean, Saban's Power Rangers did something in Georgia at a mall. So
It was at the Alamo Dome, and they were all there. And it wasn't the original cast, it was the new cast. It was for the movie. And that's when I was like, ooh, Rocky, hi.
how old were
I don't
you?
know.
Like 5?
No. I was not. Yes, I was. I was like 5 or 6.
Really, you're like, hi, Rocky, at 5?
I think it was 6.
I'll just go look up on YouTube, but I don't think we had.
This is actually also when I bring back the tidbit that I shared in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where I broke my chicken limbo so that I could have the whistling sticks to twirl, like in the movie. So,
such a good movie. Such a good transition from the, dinosaurs to being ninjas. So good.
Yeah. Anyway, as we continue. So the focus of the show is this. When the evil witch Rita Repulsa and her minions Goldar, Squat, Babu, and Finster are freed from their imprisonment on the moon, the wizard Zordon, with the help of his assistant Alpha 5, enlists 5 teenagers. Jason Lee Scott, Trini Kwan, Billy Cranston, Kimberly Hart, and Zach Taylor to become the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to battle Rita's invasion of the Earth, using the power coins and dinosaurs to combat her monsters. Rita soon creates her own evil Power Ranger by brainwashing a recent transfer student, Tommy Oliver, but the Power Rangers are able to free him from her control and they join forces. Dun dun dun.
So the fun fact about this thing that you talked about, like, I own this on DVD. Yeah, I own this on VHS.
The Power Rangers movie?
Yes.
Oh, we weren't talking about the Power Rangers movie. This is just Power Rangers in general. But
You just wait on we get to the first movie. Damn it, son of a bitch. Whatever. Move on.
But no, this is directly how we get the first movie.
Which funny thing, we bring up the movie. You talked about having it on DVD. I have it on VHS.
I have it on DVD because it was an impulse purchase when I was like 19, and I was like, "Oh, it's $5 at Target. Yes, please." And then I rewatched it, and I still
I don't know
love
where
it
you would be without
up.
me in your life with these impulse
Why?
purchases.
Oh yeah, no, it would be real bad. I'd be under a bridge. It's fine. But I'd have all of my stuff with me under that bridge.
Sure. You can live with DVDs. They keep you warm.
But what I did have on VHS, and it was really random because Trini wasn't even kind of my favorite, but like I had a VHS if it was just like Trini's main episodes. It was like 4 or 5 episodes that it was like specific for Trini's story, because like each episode was different. It kind of focused on different rangers having to deal with different things, and that one was just like a VHS that just had Trini stuff. And I don't know how I got it. I think we got it from the flea market or something. But like,
did somebody literally just like record random episodes they thought were
no,
important?
it had box art. No,
did they draw some box art on it?
No, they used to do them for each of the Rangers, and you'd just get like their episodes.
I mean, you probably bought some flea market bootleg thing where they just recorded.
Sir, I'm Mexican, so maybe, but I don't know because we lost that VHS tape.
Did they show that VHS at the Alamo Dome? Yes or no?
Is that where you got this from?
Okay, so now that Matt's popped my bubble, it's time for me to pop all of your bubbles with the controversy behind these things, because it was the 90s.
Don't care. The 90s.
Oh no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about our listeners and Adrian.
Oh.
Matt, you have no bubble to pop.
No, I assumed everything was bad.
It's not wrong. Not wrong.
So, despite the success of the series, it was also subject to a lot of controversy from parents who felt the show was too violent for young children. Fun fact about Kate's Catholic school education, we were not allowed to play Power Rangers, and if we did, we would have to get sent to the class below us to copy out of the Bible, because it was too violent. So I can corroborate that.
When you weren't punching each other and going, oh, with sparks flying everywhere and falling?
No, I actually pushed a kid off a slide.
Yeah, that worked too.
He was fine.
We used to line up across from each other, and like how they sometimes get in a line and fight, like before they wouldn't fight, and we would 1v1 each other.
It was like a dance battle, but with fists.
Yeah, that would be called fighting.
Basically like that.
Dance battles.
But we were Power Rangers, so it was cooler, and it hurt less when you were a Power Ranger and you're because like we were like legitimately fighting. Like people are throwing kicks and fists at people's faces. And we're like, oh no.
I remember
Super Sentai.
I remember my teacher got hit with a stick one time, and that was when they like made the solid no Power Rangers anywhere rule. Because there was one of the Power Rangers had something that you could throw, and somebody picked up a stick and just threw it, expecting that it would come back, but it didn't come back to them. It just hit her. It hit the nun like
Yeah,
square in
this
the
is why
chest.
This is why Ninja Turtles have no shuriken, despite the fact that they should have shuriken as ninjas.
All this is to say, parents thought it was too violent, and the show aired before television stations issued content warnings, such as parental guidance or fit for viewing persons 12 or older, the V-chip, and television ratings. In the U.S., numerous complaints were sent to the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, and in 1993, the Canadian broadcast rights to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were jointly purchased by YTV cable channel, and the series played to a perceptive audience every weekday. And despite not actually being a member of CBS SC, YTV compiled and pulled the series before the end of its first season. Because people were mad. And then CBSC ended up doing the same thing. And while a phone-in poll was conducted to see if viewers wanted Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back on YTV, no further installments of the Power Rangers franchise were aired in Canada until 2011's Power Rangers Samurai, although commercials for toys and videos were still advertised on it. Later Disney-era versions of the series were broadcast on ABC Family.
Disney-era versions. Anyways, does anybody remember the V-chip? That thing was terrible. Obviously, we never had one, but I think I went to one of my friends who had one, and I was like, what the hell is this? And they're like, it's a V-chip. And I was like, what?
I thought you were making it up. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember that thing. It was a huge ordeal.
It blocked TV.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And it only worked in, I think, Brazil, the US, and Canada, and like maybe another Latin American country, but like...
No, it was a weird thing. I remember it being a huge ordeal with people, especially like kids, of like, did your parents get the V-chip or not? Can you watch TV or not?
I think my mom wanted one, but my dad was like, Sylvia, you're wasting money on stupid things.
We can just turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's basically how my parents were. Like, oh, we can turn it off, or we can just say no. We don't need a chip. But then I guess we can call the FCC to tell them to parent our children. But still.
Well, but I will say this: when my parents got DirecTV and they had the parental controls so they could put on stuff, they did it because my brother was growing up at the time, and my dad ended up disabling them because he was like, "I can't watch my shows, Sylvia. We have to take them off." Because my mom put them on every TV.
Yeah, so. just because he can't watch Cinemax doesn't mean I can't.
Yeah,
pretty much. So this is where I go into a fun fact. It's not really a fun fact. It's actually fairly sad. In mid-October 1994, there was a murder of a young Norwegian girl by two of her young friends, which prompted Swedish-owned TV3 to pull Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from its broadcast schedule and all of its market countries. But Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was not related to the event at all. Instead, the young children responsible were fans of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The other controversy in Power Rangers is racial stereotypes. So early on in the series, some fans and critics all noted that there were some racial overtones that could be construed in the colors of several Rangers, in the first seasons being based on the actor's skin color and ethnicity. Austin St. John, who has Native American ancestry, was the Red Ranger. Walter Emmanuel Jones, who is black, was the Black Ranger. And Thuy Trang, who is Vietnamese, was the Yellow Ranger. So this ended up being, as much as it ended up being a joke with a lot of fans and a lot of older people now, it was kind of an issue, which is why they switched it up and never did it again with any of the other Rangers. That being said, with that piece out of the way, the Power Rangers cast has always been extremely diverse, both in gender and race and ethnicity. So that's been one of the really cool things. Like I would say growing up, that was probably the most diverse show I watched. And the franchise has essentially had diversity at its core because Chaim Saban wanted it to be inspirational to all kids regardless of their race or gender. That said, it wasn't just like good-hearted. It was also we can sell things to all of these kids if we have a different ranger that looks like everybody.
Oh, you don't think that's what's happening
Yeah.
now? What, you think they're actually being nice
Oh
and care?
no, that's what should happen. People don't realize that diversity actually does sells because if you have everything, then people can buy it. Especially in kids programming.
Yeah.
So that's like, so yeah, that's ultimately that piece.
Yeah. It's definitely weird, but they were solid cast though.
It was a really good cast.
I enjoyed
Yeah,
the cast.
they were solid. They were a solid cast altogether. Even with some of the changes that happen, because of deaths or because of falling outs of whatever, they even like recast in that second kind of run of it. Still pretty good. Like
Yeah.
I didn't, except me, I guess for Kat because Kate doesn't like that, but everyone else is pretty
Technically,
good.
she's the third recasting because Kimberly is still around for the Ninja Rangers era, which comes out with the movie, which is when you get Adam and Aisha and Rocky joining the team.
Yeah.
In respect, and it's really cool too because then you end up with essentially they add Steve, who is Latino, to the cast, and then you still kind of have the same makeup but different and even more diverse.
Yeah.
So
They should have made him the Brown Ranger.
no.
That'd be an ugly ass color ranger.
Right? Jesus.
It's a really bad color. Anyway, the next piece are allegations of homophobia, which happened, and this is actually like really large, and it was one of like the first like bad things I ever heard about Power Rangers. So David Yost, who was the last original Power Ranger to leave the series, in Power Rangers Zeo, cited homophobic attitudes from production staff, prompting him to unsuccessfully undergo conversion therapy in an effect to change his sexuality. And in a 2010 interview for the fan blog No Pink Spandex, Yost stated that he walked off the set one day because he was called the F word one too many times, and also stated that the producers would often ask other cast members how they felt about his homosexuality, and this made him uncomfortable as well. So like Yost spoke out like a great deal about it. He's still really proud of like the friends he made while on there, but he's distanced himself from any sort of the production or any of that kind of stuff. So like you'll see him at cons with people, but he doesn't necessarily like those aren't fond days for him in the same way that they are for other cast members. And that's one of the other like dark spots. And then beyond that, beyond just that type of bad work conditions, there were also other poor work conditions. As a non-union production, members of the original cast were reportedly subject to low pay, long hours, unfair contracts, and a hostile work environment. And as many cast workers were young, aspiring actors, they had no agents or lawyers to protect their interests, and they themselves had limited experience in the entertainment industry. Austin St. John, Tui Trang, and Walter Manuel Jones were the first to leave the series because of low pay in the middle of the second season, and St. John struggled with homelessness after he left. Amy Jo Johnson later left the series for the same reason, along with concerns over her safety, having almost been set on fire during the filming of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Additionally, despite the show's financial success, members of the original cast did not receive royalty payments for reruns of episodes in which they starred. According to Johnson, St. John, Jones, and Trang had wanted the show to become unionized, leading them to being replaced by Steve Cardenas, Johnny Young Bosch, Karen Ashley, respectively.
Yeah, that's crazy. The not getting paid royalties for the reruns is nuts because the syndication of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was.
Is that a common thing for
huge.
actors to actually get paid for
Huge.
reruns though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I knew obviously like producers and other types of stuff. I didn't know about
I
like.
know they will.
Okay.
I think it also too, because I think like this says, I think you have to negotiate in your contract, but like it's one of the cool things that like Power Rangers has done is they take unknowns and they work with them, but it also kind of lets them exploit them to the extent that they can.
Well, yeah, everybody wants to be a Power Ranger. You don't want to be a Power Ranger? I'll find the 12 other people who casted to be a Power Ranger.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Not great. Not great. So that also makes me wonder, like, why did they come back? It's like, why does Austin St. John come back in Power Rangers Zeo to do a few episodes or
They
other
probably
stuff? Must have, like,
offered him a
must
big
have,
paycheck.
They
yeah,
probably
must have
got
paid him good
paid.
money to come back to that.
Yeah, especially if they left for low pay. Because, like, it's one of the things, too, because, like, Kim doesn't come back outside of the Turbo movie. The Turbo movie is the only thing that she comes back in.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about how bad that movie did. Together but why though is look at how long it goes. So one of the things you need to understand about Power Rangers is it's not just one series with different seasons. It's effectively like 26 series with multiple seasons. So the first one is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers at 60 episodes. The next version of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers at 52 episodes. The next version of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers at 33 episodes, which is the ninja version of them where they have the frog, the falcon, those things. Then you have Power Rangers Zero, which had 50. You had Power
Wait. You skipped
that
Mighty
one.
Morphin Power Rangers Alien Rangers.
I don't care about them. Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers that had 10 episodes. Oh,
it's not good.
So by this time, I am gone and done with Power Rangers. Wasn't around for Alien. We dipped out at Alien.
It was.
Isn't that the one like where they got like their own, like, were they like individual Megazords or something stupid?
Yeah.
I gotta look this up. It was not
They
good.
had really ugly soups too, because like they essentially
it was some basic
they
things.
took the ninja suit and made it super not cool.
Like I said, this is when Matt dips out of Power Rangers he had a good run with his childhood, and then we moved on to better things.
Yeah, it was a
Red Battle. Yeah, that's right, because they weren't animals anymore, so they had like their own thing, so it just wasn't cool. Like, I don't want to see you in a bigger version of yourself. I want to see you in an animal or something crazy. Get out of that thing.
It's real bad. But it only lasted for 10 episodes, so it's fine.
But that was enough for Matt to go bye-bye.
Yes. The cool thing is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on Netflix has like 145 episodes, and it's because it has all of the original episodes and then the Disney rerun versions, which the Disney rerun versions had like kapow and like all these like extra things on top of it. It's real bad. Only watched about 100.
Only watched about 100.
It's fun though. Power Rangers Zeo at 50, Power Rangers Turbo at 45, Power Rangers in Space at 43, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Oh, that intro. Thank you. Thank you.
It was really good. It was really good. At 45,
it's the most anime intro out of all of them. Oh my god, it's so good.
It low-key it sounded like the Justice League one.
Yeah.
When the instrumental came in. But anyway.
I was ready for it. I was ready for the beat to drop.
Then you have Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue at 40, Power Rangers Time Force at 40. I'm still with the franchise up until this. Actually, no. Power Rangers Time Force was the last one I watched. Like, I watched everything up until that point.
You were like 3.
And then no, I was not. I was 10.
When you were watching stuff up to this.
I was 10.
Yeah.
2001, that's 10. That's when my brother was born. I remember was born in 2000. And then I didn't watch Power Rangers Wild Force. I tried to, and I didn't like it.
I liked the gorilla. The Red Ranger was the gorilla in that one, right? Oh, I like that one.
No.
That one had animals in that one, Matt.
I was done. I'm in high school at this point. You got time to watch some Power Rangers?
Matt, our age difference is not that big. You were not in high school.
In 2002?
I was 10.
In 2002, you were 4 years older than me. Then you had Power Rangers Ninja Storm, which I watched. Power Rangers Diner Thunder, which I also watched. Because I forgot Jetix was a thing, but I definitely watched Jetix. That's when they had Beyblade and stuff.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then
Oh, yeah.
Didn't
Childhood.
watch
Like it.
Power Rangers SPD. I'm off at this point. So Power Rangers SPD, at 38 episodes, Power Rangers Mystic Force at 32, Power Rangers Operation Overdrive at 32, Power Rangers Jungle Fury at 32, Power Rangers RPM at 32.
It's like another like kind of copy car
Yeah.
one, I think.
And then Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is the remaking of the existing footage for people. 32 episodes. Then there's Power Rangers Samurai or Power Rangers Super Samurai at 23 and 22. Don't make sense. Yeah, 18, 19. Yeah, okay. Power Rangers Samurai 23, and then Power Rangers Super Samurai at 22. And then you have Power Rangers Mega Force at 22, Power Rangers Super Mega Force at 20, Power Rangers Dino Charge at 22, Power Rangers Super Dino Charge.
Guess what the next one is? Just add super to it, and that's probably the second season.
Power Rangers Ninja Steel and
Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel.
And then Power Rangers Beast Morphers, which is the most recent one.
I guess it's probably going to come in 2020.
Power Rangers Super Beast Morphers.
That one sounds kind of cool, though. Super Beast Morphers. Sounds like Beast Wars. Oh, okay. All right.
You're on your own.
Yeah, I think I remember up to SPD, because I remember kind of like what the characters were, but after that, it's all a blur from there.
So there were a few times I do remember attempting to go back, but it just, like, depending on, obviously couldn't tell you which one was which, but it's one of those, like, I probably came in at a bad season and looked at it going, what the hell is this? And I was like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
So.
What do they look like now?
Trying to look it
Soup
up.
Beast Morphers. They have ears on their helmet? Is that what those dudes has?
Okay, so I'm out of this one.
Let's see.
Yeah, some of these dudes have ears.
Oh, this looks hideous.
Available on Netflix if you want.
The cool thing about this, though, is
There's
that
no cool thing
the
about
the acting hasn't changed.
Oh no,
So,
it's all. You know why it hasn't changed?
it's the
Because they're
same
still
campy-
dubbing English over Japanese action shots.
Yeah,
That's
but,
why
like, the
it
Ameri-
hasn't
yeah.
changed.
But the American action shots are still like overly dramatic, basically soap opera like level acting,
Oh
and I
god!
kind of like that they kept
Also,
it that
how
way.
old am I? Because these people unmasked look like children.
Oh, they're definitely young. You are old.
I mean, they're meant to be teenagers, right? Because they're usually in high school.
They
I
look
mean-
like babies. Well, that's
Oh!
weird though.
I was
right?
like,
No. That does not look like Rocky when I was a kid.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I
Come
get
on
what you're
now.
saying, but I
was
was
like a solid 30
who
years
is
old.
this? Who is this Gerber baby looking? Because I just literally just watched them fight. Like, that kid is not the one in that suit. It's just jarringly bad.
I was like, I get that they're supposed to be teenagers, but I'm pretty sure the people they hired when we were there were not like. But then again, who knows?
No, I'm looking at. Let's see, Rocky Power Rangers. Yeah, no, this dude was like clearly
Oh, wait,
30.
who's this guy? I'm watching a different thing. I'm watching these looks like actually like legit adults in this one.
Maybe
in
you're
this
watching the
clip.
Japanese version.
Maybe because that does not look like.
Oh, those
that's
are very
that
different
is
people.
that is a black guy who is much larger than whoever I'm looking at in this picture of this tiny white
Whoever
boy.
that Red Ranger is.
Let me look.
Whoever
Hold up.
Gerby Baby
Yeah.
Reed.
Yeah, these dudes are like adults. And that guy's a robot, I guess. Does he not transform?
I don't know.
There's a prey. Kate. In this one, there's a praying mantis, a bunny, a tiger. What is this guy?
Okay, so I would like to. Yeah, so Rocky looks kind of young. Tommy was definitely not young.
There's a gorilla. And was that a beetle? Those are what they're fighting.
Beetle?
They're fighting. Yeah, it's a praying mantis, a bunny, a beetle, and then a gorilla, and I guess a tiger. And those are the Zords.
All that goes to say is they essentially launched this vast multimedia empire, which surprisingly has a lot of comics. Like, even with like the toy line, the comics is something I wanted to include because it's crazy. So from 1994 to 1995, they pour Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was published at Hamilton Comics. 95 and 96, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was published by Marvel Comics. Power Rangers Zeo was published by Image in 1996. Turbo was published by Saban Powerhouse in 1997. Ninja Storm was published by Disney Adventures in 2003. Tokyo Pop in 2003 and 2004. Jetix Magazine in 2003. And then you have Dino Thunder and Tokyo Pop at 2004, which is Tokyo Pop's manga. I don't even think that's actually like comic book. I think Tokyo Pop only does manga. And then Dino Thunder was also in Jetix Magazine 2004, SPD, Jetix Magazine 2005, Operation Overdrive in Jetix in 2007, Super Samurai and Paper Cuts, Mega Force and Paper Cups, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Paper Cups in 2014. And then in 2015, Boom Studios won the entirety of the Power Rangers comic license. And that has since brought forward a range of award-winning publications.
A lot of comics.
And right now, if you go to our website, butwhythopodcast.com, you'll find a lot of Power Rangers reviews. But in 2016, Boom Studios published Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then they had Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Annuals, Power Rangers Aftershock, and then currently, the current series that is running is Go-Go Power Rangers from Boom. And then you have Justice League / Power Rangers also going in 2017. Since then, they've done Shattered Grid. So Power Rangers Shattered Grid. And then you also have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back as a current line. And then you also have it's in a #1 today as of recording Wednesday, 12/4. Power Rangers / Mighty Morphin Power Rangers / Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. #1 just went up. So yeah. And then you have the movies, of which there are 3. There's the original.
3. There's
Huh?
1.
There's only 3 movies?
There's
Yeah.
1.
Wait, there's only 3 movies? They didn't make like any of those like
No.
other ones into just
No.
like made for TV?
Nope.
No,
No,
really?
there are 3 features. That's
There's
it.
1 feature.
Everything else essentially got boxed up. Like what they would do is they would take an event from the TV series, like a 3-part episode, remove the parts, put them
okay,
together,
gotcha.
and that was a home video release.
Gotcha. They Futurama it.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Or they did it before Futurama did it.
Yeah, I know. But like that's what I
Yes.
attribute it to.
So the first Power Rangers movie, so Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, after a construction accident, cracks open a gigantic egg that has imprisoned evil maniac Ivan Ooze for centuries. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers prepare to face the most formidable foe yet. The vengeful Ooze kills their elderly mentor, Zordon, and with him, the source of the Power Rangers' power. Stunned by Zordon's death, the Rangers struggle to contain Ooze without help from the Zords, the giant mechanical robots they have grown to depend on. They essentially end up going on this really long hero's journey, and they end up becoming the Ninja Rangers and getting really cooler suits, like Matt said. They also do look genuinely really comfy.
They
But
do.
The one thing this movie did was I could never go back to just watching the TV show because their suits look so much better in this movie because they were actually like armored suits. And
Yes.
it looked really good.
Yes.
Yeah, I think like they're the best suits for sure. They're
It's-
super good.
They're
I mean, that whole movie is pretty. I mean, I also haven't watched it in a long time, but I watched it a lot when I was younger because my mom's friend that I would go with after school when she was working late sometimes would like play it for me so I could just watch it. It's so good. I remember it being really good. I'm almost scared to go back and watch it because I don't want it to be bad.
It was real freaking good. I loved it. I rewatched it when it came onto Netflix for a little while, so like maybe 3 years ago. It still holds up. I love it. I have the DVD, so now I want to go watch it. But I will say this: Matt took me skydiving for my first time on our 30-year anniversary, and the entire time that I was like, as soon as it jumped out the air, aside from me crying because I was really scared, I was thinking of the opening scene of Power Rangers where they're all skydiving, and you have like that song playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
And then they like fall to the ground, and then they all start like rollerblading like into Angel Grove. Yeah. Anyway,
God,
Back when
that's
people went
such an on
outside and they did
such an
outside
on-brand
activities.
movie.
it's so good. Uh, yeah. Anyway, then you have the
Hold on,
oh
you
yeah,
forgot like the other parts
that
of this book.
movie has a 37% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but a 56% critic rating among fans, and a 10 in my heart, a 10 out of 10, not a 10 out of 100. And the coolest thing is it grossed $66 million on a $15 million budget. That movie
That's a
made
big
bank.
budget. A big budget.
15 mil? No.
Well, it's bigger than I thought it would be for a Power Rangers movie
That's fair.
in the 90s.
It's because they didn't use Japanese stock footage.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine they sold a bunch of toys off of it, so even if it doesn't, gross $100 million, that's still
The movie
lots of
made
money in their pocket.
$66 million on after spending only $15 million to make it. It like more than made its money back. It quadrupled its money.
Yeah, but they get their money from their toys. Toys is where it's at. They probably made like $1 billion off of toys that year, probably, or something crazy.
Probably. But they also quadrupled the money it took to make this movie. Just in ticket sales. Which is depressing when you go to Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, which is...
When did this movie come out? Because I remember, like, something about this coming out. Obviously, I don't think I've ever seen this movie.
I saw it in theaters.
I was like, I'm pretty sure, like, I remember coming out, and it was one of those, like, this looks awful.
It came out in 1997. I saw
Yep.
this in theaters.
I was like, this looks awful.
The TV heroes return for a sequel, chasing a vicious villainess named Divatox. Can they rescue the kindly wizard Larigot from her clutches before he's thrown into a volcano?
Let me see
Yeah, I
this. I
remember
feel
that.
like I have seen this. I definitely need to go see it in theaters.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
It has a 15% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, Lariat, yeah.
40%,
All right, I'm out.
a 40% from audience, and it made $9.6 million.
Oh, I do remember this.
I could not find the budget for the movie. They did not have it
Oh.
listed.
Yep,
It
I
only
remember
made
this.
Oh, let's just go look on Box
9.6.
Office Mojo.
This was awful. This was terrible.
Then you end up into the 2017 film called Saban's Power Rangers, or just Power Rangers. This is an entire reboot of essentially
This is
the
an
Mighty
nostalgia
Morphin
blast
Legend.
that we do these days.
It was really good. I liked it. I liked it way more than I thought I was, because I was really against the movie. And then I watched it on Hulu, and I was like, oh, this is actually good. 5 ordinary teens must become something extraordinary when they learn that their small town of Angel Grove and the world is on the verge of being obliterated by an alien threat. Chosen by destiny, our heroes quickly discover that they are the only ones who can save the planet. But to do so, they will have to overcome their real-life issues before it's too late. Band together as the Power Rangers. It made $142 million on a $100 million budget, and it's a 51% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 65% audience score.
Is this also a 10 in your heart?
No, it's a solid 7 or 8.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think it definitely deserves. I think it deserved a sequel. I think I would have loved to see them keep going. Those characters, I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it in theaters.
It wasn't perfect, but it was
Yeah.
good. It was.
I mean, it's better than I think it deserved to be.
Yeah.
When you're talking about what they're doing, it's better than it deserved to be, which should be more than enough. And I'm surprised it made so little. I don't know why. Well, I guess I could get why people didn't go see it, but because you didn't go see it, and you love Power Rangers. But
You also live with me.
It was good.
And I was like, I'm not going to see this.
Pretty much. At the end of the day, Disney ended up buying Saban for $300 million. They bought Fox Family, and that's why everything ended up running on the ABC Family channel. But
What, Disney bought something? No way.
yeah, this is also a while ago. But during that, Bandai still handled the toys, and they kept using Japanese Super Sentai. But in 2010, Haim Saban, who is the creator of the series, regained ownership of the franchise after 7 years under the Walt Disney Company, and in 2018, Hasbro was named the new master of the license, the new master toy licensee. And shortly afterwards, Saban Brands and Hasbro announced that the latter would acquire the entire franchise and the rest of the former's entertainment assets for $522 million, with the first products from Hasbro, which became available in 2019, mainly Beast Morphers. And
Yeah,
that's
it's
it.
crazy. Yeah, that whole part's crazy. I know that like that's if you're interested more about like that whole toy controversy, if you look at the Toys Who Made Us on Netflix, they do a pretty good job of explaining that controversy. Basically, like Bandai's like making these toys for years, making this company billions of dollars, and they're just like, all right, we're gonna go with Hasbro now, which is insane considering. Because I looked it up, so I was wondering how good or like where does Power Rangers rank in terms of media franchises? Because we talked about that a few times. But if you look at like highest grossing media franchises, Super Sentai slash Power Rangers is 29, and and they have what is it, 16.2 billion. 13 of that comes directly from toys. So
So
I'd love to know
much.
like what did Hasbro do to take that away from Bandai, who'd basically been running off this thing for years and years. Basically, like the only constant when it comes to that toy line. Because when it switched over to Disney, they didn't make any money, so they switched it back and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, they're like, "All right, Hasbro, come in to make our toys now." Craziness.
Yeah,
Companies, companies, wild.
it's real bad. It's real bad, and not bad, I guess, but like Saban, I think Saban was stupid for losing or for selling his rights again because he sold them for 300 million like before, and then he only sold them for
Yeah,
220 more. Like, I think you should have held on to him personally.
yeah. Because I'm looking at like what they have now. What Bandai America has, they have Digimon, Gundam, that are relevant. Pac-Man, I guess, Tamagotchi. Like they really don't have anything really relevant anymore in their toy line in Bandai America,
Yeah, got video
which
games.
is concerning.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I have. So, final thoughts on Power Rangers?
For me, Power Rangers is great, man. It's that those first few seasons, even like past Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I still enjoyed them past that. I mean, the characters were good, and I never really thought about how diverse the cast are, but all of the cast were diverse. No matter if like the show itself was bad, you did have that to turn to. I did like how in the seasons they would change it up. I didn't like some of the seasons, like when they went to the car thing. Didn't like the whole turbo thing. I did like the dinosaurs. I did like space. So I think it's definitely depending on what they do in terms of their Zords is where I was as a kid, and it probably still is true now because I kind of want to watch them fight stuff. I enjoyed the movie because of it brought back those kind of nostalgia feelings. I think it was a good movie that gave you all the nostalgia feels without hitting you over the head with it. And then it brought back what was so good about those first couple of series, but unfortunately, business and money. So we probably won't see another one for another. What do you say, Matt? 5 years before we get another reboot?
Probably something close.
It has to be like probably 10 because they had initially the last movie was set up to be a six film series of 6 movies,
Oh,
and then the first one didn't make enough on return, so they canceled everything.
so they're just sitting on the rights then.
Yeah,
That
Lionsgate.
sucks. Fun times. Fun times.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if we don't get any more Power Rangers stuff, and I don't even I like when I think about stuff that I liked when I was a kid, like would I show it to my kids eventually? I don't know if they'll like Power Rangers or if even show them to them, but I know that for me it was a good experience. And then meeting some of the voice actors, specifically Austin St. John, it's a really great fan experience to like meet someone who you pretended to be in the backyard
Yeah.
and then be like legitimately nice people. So if all else, if anything else, I have that experience with Austin St. John that makes it all worth it.
Matt?
Um, kind of said I watched the first episode. I watched the first few seasons, and obviously I did it when I was a kid. I made it to the first part. I enjoyed the first movie, and then I guess as we go through all of these things, I just kind of grew up, and basically that's where I am now. I know they're still relevant. People still like it. That's cool. I mean, I doubt I'll ever go watch any of it ever again. I obviously don't read comics, but I mean, Like I said, I know why people enjoyed it when it first came out and stuff. Obviously, they've done a lot of weird stuff over the last 10 years or so, and then we had a movie. We'll probably get another one. I don't see it going away. So long as that people will buy toys, and so long as people love nostalgia, I don't see it going away anytime soon. So I'm sure it will be here to stay for a while.
Just real quick before you get to yours, Kate, I was looking and apparently on an AMA on the Stranger Things subreddit, what's the guy's name? Was it Daiquiri? How do you say this guy's name? Daiquiri Montgomery? Who the Red Ranger for the Red Ranger in the Moo movie, as well as like the dickhead older brother in Stranger
Oh,
Things.
yeah.
He said on a post earlier this year, actually, that there is a reboot in the works, or like there's a plan to produce a reboot, but without him and the rest of the cast. But the director would be returning, so I don't know.
That's
how-
stupid.
Yeah. Also, like it's just like an actor saying it on a subreddit, so I don't take too much stock
Yeah.
in it. But this also happened July 11th, 2019,
Yeah.
from what I'm seeing. So
Yeah, so I loved Power Rangers growing up. I still love Power Rangers. I will probably go. I mean, like I said, the majority of them, I counted them on Netflix. There's 22 available on Netflix, so like you can get real on deep in there. I'll probably go like I think I had like a summer of Power Rangers. I think it was like 2012 or 2013 when it first hit Netflix. I ended up doing like watching every single episode of Mighty Morphin, and I wouldn't mind doing that again. Although I totally love Rita now, like a whole bunch. She just has so many memes, like the cry baby cry is like something that I like. I don't know. I really love the show. I I loved the movie. I still love the movie. Now that I think back to what Turbo was, it was not good. Um but yeah. I mean, that's it. And it's going to keep me relevant. And I would definitely be in the seats to watch another Power Rangers movie if it came out.
yeah, I'm with it.
So,
I'm with it. I hope they do it. Even if they reboot it, depending on how well they do it, just don't reboot like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like the ninja thing.
yeah.
Leave that alone. Don't touch that. Just do anything else.
Yeah, don't touch that.
Do anything
Also,
else. Just go with Zed. Just give me like a Zed movie. I'd be all right with that.
what was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Oh, yeah, I'd also be down for you to just get the original Rangers together. Like,
Yeah.
they're all still pretty fit. So,
Yeah, let's do it. Come on.
yeah.
Also, before we leave, I just had a real quick shameless plug because if you go on, is it Hyper RPG's Twitch channel, they have a thing called Power Rangers Hyperforce,
Oh,
where basically
yeah.
they do like an RPG version of D&D, but for Power Rangers, and it has like some of the former Power Rangers and things like that on it. It is a good watch if you like Power Rangers and you like D&D and you're in that weird niche crowd. It's pretty good. I check it out. Power Rangers Hyperforce.
That's awesome. I've watched a couple episodes. It's pretty fun. But as always, if you want to join the conversation, you can follow us on all of our social medias at PC. And if you want to help contribute a little bit more, head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/PC. For as little as $1 a month, you can help the show and also get access to our research notes. And then, as always, you can find me on Twitter at omemithrandier. Adrian?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at superruiz93, SUPERRUIZ 93.
Matt?
I'm just a leg.
Oh my god!